Hello, welcome to the Daily Drone Show. Today's stories include internet drones, cool shots, and calibrating your drone. It's Tuesday, October 19th, 2021, and today in the news, we're talking about a new massive internet beaming drone. It's trying to succeed where all others have failed. The race is on to build a fleet of solar-powered drones that will beam internet access all over the Earth. But both Google and Facebook have now pulled out of their plans of putting one into the sky. IEEE Spectrum is partnering with NASA to bring the project closer to reality. They have a drone called the Hawk 30. It's a massive 10-engine drone that can fly for months on end. It's really the product of a Japanese tech giant, SoftBank, and a U.S. manufacturer, AeroVironment. It's a $65 million partnership between the two companies. Test flights are soon to be going on at NASA's Armstrong Flight Center soon. The Hawk 30 looks like a wide-bodied cousin of the Helios. Now, the Helios crashed in 2003, but it was performing high-altitude tests, and it actually reached height of 93,000 feet. So guess what? The internet will be coming soon to a local area near you. Well, it's time to build 500 flights and counting. If you love construction and drones, then we've got something for you. We filmed the construction of a residential home from both the ground and the air over a 10-month period. We've got some things to share with you. So let's see what happens today. Today is episode 11, Cool Shots. Now, my first cool shot is easily repeated, and I used the final waypoint to focus in on an item on the roof line, and then I tried to keep it within center as I flew closer to it. Now, the center focus was also used for the pull away. So I had the shots that I thought were also conceptually cool, but due to flaring and focus problems, they weren't as cool as I thought, like the garage shot. Now, I realized in the process of doing this project, I needed to set up more shots. And now it was time to use all the shots that I had, plus produce new shots. So I began to rank the shots too. You know, what I liked the best, what was the worst, and what's interesting is over the time of the project, that all changed too. Now, the first shot I did was the hover and slowly rotate. It was an effective shot as a spectator. And since I was really learning how to utilize the drone with inside the tree lines and heights, the hover really was a great way to get started. Then I went to the flyover because it was easy. You just set the drone to the right altitude and you fly over the subject. Everything that I was doing was basically straight lines, back and forth, side to side, and up and down. I wasn't really incorporating diagonal movement within my three-dimensional space yet. The decking in place. That was to keep the boards from later on pulling up the nails if they were to get loose. And then they would use a sledgehammer to knock the wood slats together. It's pretty cool. Well, the next morning, 100 bales of wheat straw was delivered. And guess what? They delivered it to the wrong house. Today's Tuesday, and that means it's a tip from the air. Today we're going to be talking about calibrating your drone. Now, keeping your drone in sync by calibrating its sensors allows it to perform at its best. You've got the magnometer, which is the compass that guides the drone as it flies, and compass calibration is required to locate that true north. Now, since the Earth's magnetic field changes depending on where you are with the drone, it can misread its headings by a few degrees off of true center, and that typically is when you get closer to the poles. Now, the accelerometer is responsible for keeping the drone stable and balanced as it flies. Now, here's a couple of suggestions to figure out whether your drone needs calibrating. First flight, definitely. If time has passed since you last flew your drone, a month or longer, maybe you need to calibrate it again. If you've got any interference warnings, calibrate. If you're flying in a place that's different from your past location, calibrate. Other times when you need to calibrate is when you're having some issues, like if the drones are not really flying correctly or you had a crash. Now, some things might hinder your calibration, such as metallic structures. Also, if you've got metallic structures underneath concrete or asphalt, like grease traps for restaurants. Then you've got cement parking lots. Why? Because you've got a lot of metal rebar in the cement. And then you've got cell towers, mobile towers. Those can interfere with calibration. You also want to calibrate that camera too. And you also want to make sure that when you're calibrating that camera, it's attached to the drone. That way you get the best calibration possible. Otherwise, your calibration could be wrong and you could shoot some really crummy pictures. Well, best of luck in your flights. Thanks for watching the Daily Drone Show. Be sure to subscribe to get more cool content. And on behalf of all of us at Drone Education Services, fly safe, fly often, and have fun.